And I'm alive.
I'm alive. Look around, everybody. I'm mute.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the pod. I am Crystal Versace.
And I'm DEDE.
And I'm LaBelle.
And
she doesn't know who
Drum
she is.
roll, please.
we have a lovely guest. Give it up for
AWHORA.
And we are the girls.
Yes,
I've been waiting so long to do that.
Yeah, girl.
She
She's
got
back.
to be the iconic The Girls. Well, we're back. And this time, our very first special guest is the one and only
Yes.
AWHORA. We had to get you on for this, girl.
I mean, I feel like I've been on the pod without actually being on the pod.
Yeah.
Every time we hang out with AWHORA, it's like we're doing the podcast, and it's the juiciest
Fully.
episode
You know
we've
what,
ever
even when
done.
you guys are doing the pod, I'm like still submitting shit to try and get on the pod.
Oh my god, the story.
She's in the group. Oh my god,
The
literally.
story. The story that you sent in. Babe, I was shaking him out, like I nearly peed myself.
So did
I
I.
just knew. I knew I had to do it.
And but things, none of us said it was you. None of us went, oh, that's AWHORA.
Yeah, but
we
yeah.
we
We
pinned it
should've
on our
known.
other friends.
We should have known.
That's hilarious. though.
Well, we
Literally, I'm
have
cracking.
the fashion queen herself.
Literally.
The Bing Bang Bong.
Yeah.
Bang,
The villain of the UK franchise.
Yes, the controversial queen.
And we just thought we'd pay a little homage to the icon herself.
Yes.
And we just got in a little get up.
Yes.
I just found this in a little
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What are we wearing?
Okay, so
I think it's hot.
Yeah.
bin.
Fresh off,
AWHORA.
fresh off AWHORA's wardrobe, we've all dressed up in iconic AWHORA looks.
Yes.
Babe, I'm giving you the NHS
Absolutely.
look, honey.
The
Remastered,
recreation.
yeah.
What was it?
Oh.
COVID-19?
COVID-19.
COVID-19, honey. You better flap them
Yeah,
motherfucking
this is
wings.
more the performance version.
This
the
is
recreation.
fair.
But-
yeah.
But I pulled everything like catered to like your guys' aesthetics. Like,
Yes.
my brand is never one thing. So like I do camp, which is very UDD,
Yeah, I
and
love
this
this.
is like showgirly camp. Crystal, you know, she's my high fashion forward girl, and LaBelle, you are the party girl, the body girl. So like all these things make
She's
sense.
the drunk girl.
She works at the hospice.
Well, we've actually been so excited to get our first guest. We've been doing the
Yeah.
girls pod for a while, and obviously we had our little revamp. And we were just like, you know what? We need a bit more tea. We need a bit more insight into what it is to be a cow. So we thought, well, let's start off.
I got beef.
Yeah, you got beef,
plenty
honey.
of beef.
So yeah, we're excited to have you on. Thank you for coming,
Yeah,
honey.
thank you.
Yeah.
We're
It just
so
makes
excited.
sense.
It
It
does.
really does.
I feel like there's a lot for us to dive into. Like,
Yeah.
we're about to Tom Daly this shit.
We
The amount of
absolutely
reels we're gonna get out of this woman right here is gonna be wild.
Oh yeah, it's gonna go off for sure.
Right.
BB.
Let's start off. AWHORA, how have you been? What's been up? I feel like let's catch up the audience since
What's
season
up with
2.
you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
What's not wrong? No, like, I just kind of like, I woke up one day and I was like, I need to sort my life out. I need to fix it. I just want to make some changes. And I just went and left London. I packed up. And I think we, like, especially like you two can relate. Obviously, we know your time's going to come. But it's like
Insert
The
laugh.
side eye.
the truth with Drag Race is it is a race. And after the show, like, you're constantly marathoning yourself to,
Yeah.
like, be somewhere. And, like, I feel like when I did therapy, like, they said to me as well, they was like,
You doing therapy?
yeah, I
Really?
mean,
So?
did you not know?
Good for you.
Yeah, so
No.
like, it's like there's a method they said. It's like it's about the eyes. It's like a lot of times, especially with our industry, like you have lion eyes, and like you are so focused on looking forward, like, hunting your prey, going for that. And in reality, like the deer is the person with the eyes on the sides. Like deers have their eyes here, not there. It's like they're always aware of their surroundings, and like I feel like after Drag Race, you really do not look around you. You always look onto the next thing, and you never take time to take it in and also just go, wait, what is actually happening? And I feel like that is what I've done. Like for the last 3 years, I never actually stopped and went, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I
like,
feel
what
like
is happening?
It's been a bit of a whirlwind for you since because
Yeah.
were you working in the London scene before you did Drag
like, the
Race,
thing
or
is,
was
I
it just kind of you got on?
I was never even a drag queen. Like, my first gig was on Lip Sync Against Taste.
That's
Like,
wild.
yeah, that's my first
You
time
never even
performed.
lip sync before.
Never like
Wow.
performed, and really, apart from one time what LaBelle turned up to, and my wig fell off. But I remember like getting the call and like having 2 pairs of heels and 1 corset.
been
Like I had nothing.
But you
You pulled that one out the bag.
Well, I
though,
had
bitch.
like my
No,
fashion.
I knew, like, me and Hora go way,
We're like 10 years
way
in
back.
now.
So, like, when
That's crazy.
I moved, no, just before I even moved to London, I used to come out every night. We knew each other, and she obviously was starting drag. Well, you weren't even, it was like you were in drag, but she
He
studied
wasn't
fashion.
working, he was just turning up.
And I used to work every Monday night at Heaven, and she
No
used
laugh.
to turn the fattest look ever.
Girl.
And no, she used back in
It's
the
just,
day-
it's just the look. It's
No,
just the
she's
look.
lost
No.
weight.
No.
She was the only one doing like iconic
Yeah.
drag,
Yeah.
and we all used to gag because no one was doing these big looks, and she'd just come, turn a look, have a drink, party with us, and then we're like,
And then piss off.
fierce, but literally that. But she used to sit there and she used to get drunk, and she's like, before auditions even turned up, she used to be like, I'm on the next season.
I did.
I'm doing
I was
this.
like, procrastinate.
Babe, but she told anyone she could talk to. She went, I'm on
was
Drag
like, I'm on
Race,
season 2.
I'm doing Wizard of Oz, and this I'm saying click, bitch. And she used to say
I knew it.
everyone
I had it set.
Bitch,
before
talk about
before
manifestation.
auditions came out.
Like I remember doing looks for Goffy on a first season. And I'm thinking
Yes.
when I was making those looks, I was like, I don't like this. I don't want this. Like, and when Goffy got kicked out first, I went, I'm getting nothing from this. I did it for like, did nothing. no offense.
No, but tea.
But I was like, I've done all these looks for her for like £100, and I was like, I thought it was gonna like propel my fashion career. I was like, God, I'm gonna be amazing. and then she got kicked out, so I went, well, no one's gonna see shit.
Oh, she's like, oh, now I've got to
Like,
apply
there's no
myself.
tell Goffy like me and Goffy get along now, but like I was like, I need to show what I can do, and I was like, I need to propel this drag thing, and so like, but that was a tea. Like, girls did not like me in London because like, you know, I turned up to the gigs and like. The tea was like the girls were pouring drinks wearing a blazer, and I would turn up in like a deconstructed football made into a gown. Like that is the truth.
Yeah, well, I just know who you're talking about. And
Like, and I remember putting, I remember putting a
Say
tweet,
their names.
but I remember putting a tweet out, and this was like, this is back in the day, and the girls know, and like, I'm obviously a changed woman.
Yes.
But
yesterday.
I was like,
days
I remember
ago.
putting a tweet out being like, these girls will never compliment me and give me the evils when I arrive into these clubs, but like, end of the day, you're the girl wearing a blazer pouring a drink as my waitress. And
You're
like,
serving me, mama.
do you know what I mean? I was like, I'm coming in a look serving, and you're pouring me a drink, and I was like, I know that's cunty, but like, I was like, that is because that was the thing, and that was my thing on Drag Race. Like, when the girls would compliment me on the show, like, your look's amazing, I was like, I've never had compliments because that was it in London. Like, people were not people were threatened.
I think that's a nice thing to know about you is because I didn't really know much like
Yeah.
that
No, we
about
came
you.
in.
Yeah.
And I think if you start with like, oh, I didn't gig before Drag Race and stop there, people are like, oh, okay.
No, but
it's
I
like,
was-
no, you didn't. You actually did do the work. Like you were there presenting yourself,
But no one
and
would
not just
book
presenting
me.
yourself, but doing the most.
Yeah, like I remember asking for gigs, and we were like, people were like, we've never seen you before. I was like, because no one's booked me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna go on
It
Drag
is
Race and prove to you,
hard.
like, I can go on this show and I'm gonna annihilate. And like, that was my like every performance challenge. I was like sweating out, thinking, fuck, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it does, it gets you, but like, girl, it worked out for me.
I mean, it did, honey. Look at where you got to on season 2. Like, it
Do
was
you know
such
what I
an amazing
mean?
season.
And I mean, season 2 was
it was
the best so
the
far.
go
Yeah.
of
Still
It was
waiting.
the height
franchise.
of the
Yeah.
franchise for sure.
Yeah.
But we really did not think it was like when we knew like they were having to watch viewing parties at home, and you know there were no chance of being able to like make money at all. Like the season finished airing like 6 months after before we could actually work.
Right.
So like, and then your season come out.
Yeah,
and we were like,
literally.
and
Oh my God, yeah.
I remember with you watching the first episode, crying in heaven.
Oh my God.
Because I was
yeah.
like,
It's literally
it's
a
done.
horror. I
I was
wish-
like, I'm over.
I really wish I could find it, but it's literally me looking like a clown, like weeping
Crying.
into Ahora's arms.
Yeah.
And someone had the nerve to tag Crystal because they thought it was Crystal.
She thought it was
I am
over, and then
so
she saw my
sorry.
cast and went, "Oh, it's fine.
Oh,
I've
no.
got another 10 years
I
on.
think I got this. I got this.
I got this. What am I crying
I
for?"
think that's when I first met you, to be fair. No.
No,
Or
we'd
maybe it was
known of
Search.
each other, but
Yeah.
we'd known each other through Crystal because like me and Crystal have always like had each
Yeah.
other on
Yeah.
Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, like I really just did not think we were gonna get anything from our season. So to get what we did get, but I think it also like, oh God, I spelled this everywhere. But I do feel like my season was also one of the biggest detriments to the drag industry because of COVID happened and there was so much budget with brands built and saved because obviously they had no expenditure for like 8 months. I think because our cast came out and then everyone was like throwing money at that cast and putting them on every advert, every TV show, then after that there was nowhere else for drag queens to open doors to then do something different.
Yeah,
And I kind of was like, we were the problem.
But the thing is, after lockdown, things just got crazy.
Everything was too much.
Oh
yeah.
my god! And you guys had a break, and that's a gag to me.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
let's film half the season.
8 months to get
have a
ready for
little
Drag
holiday.
Race. 8 months to get ready for the show. Gag.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
Did you change?
Did
Did you
you?
change anything?
So we had. I was a reserve for my season. I
Right,
wasn't
I
meant to be on my
know.
cast.
How long did
So
you have then?
everyone else.
Do you know
got-
who was gonna be
ev-
before you?
I know who was my person.
Really?
I felt good. Like, let's bleep the name.
We can bleep it out.
Cast.
Yeah, I've heard
Did
that.
a gig at the Glory. Was on the mic and went, just let you all know, I'm not going to be here in 2 weeks because I'm going away to film. And then they
shit.
got the video online, and then they called me and said, you've got 2 weeks to prepare for Drag Race. I had 2 weeks to get my,
Gag,
my
I just got
package ready.
goosebumps.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Good for you.
Yeah, because Taste got the call. And she's like, you make me have this. I went, so I got the call.
Big too big.
But it's like, but I went into that show, like, I don't like watching it back now. I feel like I really misspeak about this, but like, I went in there going like, I need to be, I know they're going to know I'm a baby queen because no one's ever heard of me and I'm going to be undermined. So I went, I've got to go in there and be a bitch and I've got to be in there, be intimidating so no one can come down on me.
Yeah.
So I went in there being intimidating. Like I was like, call it out as soon as you can. And I was like, every episode brings something. So episode 1, I was like, pinpoint to you, that'll get you content. Episode 2, like, call out like this. And then I was like, right, sister, the thing. Now talk about your and Taster's relationship. And I made sure, if you watch every episode, there's a storyline with me in every episode because I produced it.
Yeah, it was
Well,
very
like,
like, I feel
because I was that
fans
bored.
like, it was where people either loved you or hated you.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the best way to be in a TV show like that
Yeah.
because love or hate you, people are talking about.
But
you.
I just didn't know what my brand were because I was so new to drag and I didn't know what I wanted to be about. So I was like, just go in there and make TV.
Like you made a brand.
Yeah,
immediately.
but
And
like-
that's why everyone fell in love with you, and that's why you popped off. It's
But
because-
I went on that show thinking, oh my God, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to come out, I'm going to be a model, I'm going to be a fashion girl, I'm going to be on Vogue.
Yeah.
And like the reality is my brand was built on being a reality star, like a funny person.
Yeah, it is that, and also
And I didn't think that was going to be me the full.
Yeah, yeah, she thought she was going in serving club, but she's like,
You know what I mean?
I also think it's one of them things that, like, obviously you was quite young when you went on.
I was 22 when I got
So,
casted.
like-
I'm 28
Oh
nearly
shit,
now.
you're my age now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you were
So,
young.
like,
Yeah.
being young, going on Drag Race and kind of not believe, like, when you don't believe in yourself fully, you end up over fixating and giving the absolute most, because I feel like DEDE did that as well. You
But
did
the
it in
thing is,
different ways.
I didn't do it in the sense of like I didn't push too much personality. It was such a big deal to me that everything. So I thought about everything in confessionals. They'd be like, "Say this," and I'd stop there and I'd go, "How can I say that in my own words? How can I say
See,
that?"
I was
you
a
were
yes,
so
I was a
scared.
yes
Yeah.
man. Like they'd
Yeah.
go, oh, go over there and tell her that she's an ugly cunt and stuff.
Yeah, see,
and I go,
I think
okay.
I would do
Yeah,
that.
I think. Yeah, she's like,
I think
like,
I
I'm
would
not
do that.
there.
I think that's where we relate, because I would be like,
I'm a yes
go-
man. When you do your confessionals in the morning, I remember like coming out the room and going, girls, how funny was that? Like, I would say, so I was like, getting us to read each other's runway looks, like say 7 bad things about it, and Taste went, didn't ask me to do that. I went, what? Then I went, Lawrence, did they ask you to like slag off Tia's outfit like in 7 different ways? She went, no. I went, fuck. And that's when I realised that when I watch it back, it's just me going, hate the shoes, hate the hair, she's ugly.
Yeah, but that's what
I
they
mean,
do.
you're
Right?
right.
That's what, and then they'll laugh behind the camera like, "Oh, she's so funny, she's so witty."
Yeah. And I was
They're
like,
cooking you up to
God,
be a
I just
villain,
fell
honey.
for it, but I loved it.
But
You
I
were
mean,
great.
it worked. I mean,
Yeah.
it is, getting a villain is a fierce role to get because
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the main role.
Yeah.
Apart from winning.
But it's fierce because everyone cares too much now.
Yeah.
Everyone's so sensitive. Everyone cares about everything that comes out their mouth. They don't want to say what is real.
Yeah.
And that's what TV is. It's like someone that is actually fierce, actually has the backbone behind them to serve fierce looks and be pussy cunt.
Yeah.
And be able to read these other trolls. And that's
Yeah.
what you did.
Well, it's like when I was at Heaven, like when it was the night when I think playing Jay met you for the first time, I was like, you're her big inspiration. But she came up to me and she was like, you are the reason why I'm the way I am, like with my mannerisms, my humor. She was like, I love you the way you were. She went, no one does that on Drag Race anymore. And I was like, yeah, and they don't now,
don't,
especially
yeah.
since what
Yeah.
happened to me.
Yeah, no one's
But-
done it since you.
No, because everyone's, but then because of the repercussions of it. But the UK never seen a villain, and I was the first person to be like, I'm gonna be a northern bitch, like, and I was, and I loved it, and I don't take it back. But like, the repercussions I did get, like, bitch, I was cancelled every week on Twitter.
But you're still here.
But it's so fierce.
Yeah.
That's what I live for,
But-
is that you were enough of a queen
Yeah.
to get through that shit.
It's-
Because
but
you did.
I think I've seen it now as my brand is.
Yeah.
People love to hate me.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
it's not a bad
But
thing.
that's
It's like they
fierce.
love to be like, horror, that troll. Like they love to
Yeah,
hate me.
but
Yeah,
that's
and I
weird.
don't mind that now. But at the time, I was like, why is everyone coming on me? And I was like, no, I've got to interpret it now. And go, no, they love that. Like I am the Maleficent who walks in and they're like, she's cunty, but like she's a bitch. But we love it.
But I kind of relate to that because I was always
You are very
she's so
me.
fucking young, she's so fucking pretty.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, it was
Like, that's
it was
me.
you in Australia that
Yeah.
time. I always tell this to people.
God, Australia.
You guys at home, like she, like that's when we became friends. Like
Yeah, we
from
did.
touring. Like I really resonated with you. I think we both did because we were both judged because we were good at drag and aesthetically, and that instantly meant that because she looks great, she's an awful person.
Yeah.
And she's got nothing nice about her. And it was
Yeah.
like, no, like you can actually be pretty and funny and
Yeah.
like nice when we want to.
But I love kind of having that control
I've
over
never
people.
seen that
Because I
girl,
already
so,
know
yeah.
people's perception of me.
Well-
and I like to sometimes play with that because I'm like,
Yeah.
I know what you think I am. Every single
Yeah.
person has this idea of who I
Well,
am.
that was me on my Drag Race trip. I said, like, I don't want to be the girl when you walk into a and go, she looks so good. Let's go and get a photo with her. I want you to go in. She looks so good. Let's get a photo. No, I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
I want to be
Yes.
that girl. I don't want to be the girl you go, oh, she looks like I can approach her. I want you to be scared of me. I want to be Miss
Exactly.
Trunchbull, like,
Yeah.
fucking terrified. Like, if you don't know if I'm going to slap you. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Fucking nothing. But, like, that's what I, like, wanted. Like, I was like, and I want the people who then do come up to me and go, can I just say, like, well, they're shaking, like, wanking the cock. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I love you so much. Like, but I love everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but she loves me and everyone. Did someone give you a gift once and it was like something like a cummy sock or it was
Oh.
It was a
weird.
condom filled.
No!
It was that. I remember. Tell the story, please.
Oh my god.
No, so like I had some weird gifts over time. Like I remember going on like Instagram Live being like, I love Percy Pig, and then everyone buying like Percy Pig socks.
I love
Percy
cummy
Pig-
socks.
Percy Pig plushies.
She definitely posted
And then
that.
like I went to this meet and greet, and it was at the Clapham Grand, and I remember it very distinctly. And this young lad was like, well, he wasn't a young lad, he was like an old man, but he was like,
Oh.
it was like, can I just say like, you changed my life. Like, it was like, I've got your signature tattoos, and everything. And I was like, oh, like lovely. And it was like shaking, sweating, and I was
Yeah,
like,
me.
I was like, baby, breathe, like it's fine. Like, you know, I'm good at meet and greets.
Yeah, you are.
I'm
You
really
are.
good. Like, I really.
You're good at being a fake
I-
bitch.
I give him everything. I'm like, come to mama. Like, but like, I was like, baby, like, calm, breathe, you're fine. Like, I was like, come here, like, put my arm around you, like, you're fine. Shaking like a shitting dog. And I was like, anyway,
was
like,
DEDE.
did the photo.
Yeah.
Turns out, LaBelle. And we were like having a good time. And I was like, right, photo Johnny. He was like, can I have one on my own with you? I was like, of course you can.
Oh my god.
Facetune 2, level 5.
Revamp.
Did that, and then
And that's the dating amount.
get the lights. Dim the lights. Turn the lights out. Anyway, so he comes along and he's done. So I go anyway. He goes, I've got this, but please don't open it until you get to the dressing room. I was like, maybe I'll open it with you. He was like, no, just open it when you get to the dressing room. Got to the dressing room. This car, like you're in cars like in your Nan Central car at Christmas. And there's
Yeah.
like pages in it. Like they've got,
Yeah.
it was page,
Notes
page,
upon notes.
page. Johnny Deary, chat blackmail, you know what I mean? A trade letter, suicide note.
You said my
that. So I was like, right, here we go, Adele biography. Read it out. I was like, whoa, pages. Open it to the back.
No!
Condom, sellotaped, back page. I was like, this is what I do when I think about you. And I was like, and I says, Mama, pop the corn and feed the children.
Babe, she sucked it like a fruit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I've had like crazy stuff. But I've had
What did you do with it?
I got a framed girl. No,
They're
I
dry.
just binned it. Like I mean, it was one of the things where you kind of go, oh, I'm
I
uncomfortable.
want it.
Yeah.
It was kind of things where you go, oh, I'm a bit shook. But like, I remember like, even like there were weirder things. Like when I lived with Taze, and like me, I was like, love this PR by so and so, and like my full address is on the label of the box.
Yeah, right.
And then it got leaked,
Oh,
and then me and
God.
Taze were like getting knocks at the door like every day during COVID, and people being like, hi, like me and my kids are like here, like we get a photo with you. I'm like,
Oh my god.
you found our address. Our address was posted online, so that's when we moved. But like this, yeah, like at that time, because I think people were just bored, especially in COVID. Like no one had anything to do. Like we were the.
Well, it was the one thing everyone gripped
Yes,
to.
it was a
Yeah.
fixation. Like it was just one thing people look forward to every week. So
I
like,
think it was like due to the trauma as well. I think they needed something, and I think
Yeah.
they fed off of you
and
guys so much.
and I do personally believe like the only reason the Bing Bang Bong did so well is because it was a piss takey song, and it was people sat watching queer people on stage just have a laugh, and it was like that joyous reminiscence of like being in a nightclub.
Exactly the right
And I
thing.
think that's the reason it did well. Like, otherwise, because the song is shit.
I mean, no, it's not
No,
even.
the song's not
because the
shit.
song is garbage.
I also just think like
I mean, it wasn't no
everyone-
brats.
Everyone had really good stories on your season. What kind of everyone related to, especially like someone like Bimini and Ginny when they came out as non-binary.
Yeah.
Like no
That
one
was a
ever
very,
spoke about that on TV.
No, they
before.
didn't.
That
There
was
so many
very fresh
special
for TV.
moments.
It was a
in
very
season 2.
diverse cast
Yeah.
in that, like, anyone who was anyone could watch it and relate to at least
Yeah.
one person. Because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Joe Black was this, like dark soul, and then Cherry was this like queer who like just played around and was experimental and did not care about gore. And then there was like Taze, who just was like this energetic ball. Bimini was like non-conforming. Like everyone was something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was fabulous. But like, I just feel like, my God, like, it just feels like a lifetime ago.
How did you deal with, like, because you met such a high on your season, like the highest, I would say one of the highest highs in probably the whole of the franchise, not only the UK, but like to hit so much of a mark so quickly. How did you deal with that afterwards?
I will say, like, I didn't deal with it in the sense that, like, when I came 5th, I was like, you know yourselves, I think we all do when you apply for Drag Race, you go, unless I'm in the final and I'm in the top 3 or the top 4, my career's set. If you're not, you're like, it could be not.
Yeah.
And I was like, I knew that top 3 with season 1, which was Bagger, Davina, and Vivian. I went, that's that. And then, like, Cheryl got a lot because she was 4th, or, yeah, that was right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then after that, then the other girls had, like, I think Blue did bits, but like no one else really was. You have to work for your game.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not a girl who's got already credentials or anything. I was like, I'm fucked. Like, and I was like, well, that's it. My career's done. Like, I'm 5th. Like, I'm in the final. I'm nothing. And then when I came off the show and I was getting stuff like Gay Times cover, I went, why am I getting this? And I felt like it was because people felt sorry for me. And I looked at everything as a negative. I went, well, I'm only getting PLT campaign because they feel sorry for me. They feel bad, and I couldn't be happy for myself because I thought everything was out of sympathy.
Yeah.
Because I was the robbed girl.
Because you still didn't even believe it yourself.
No, because I thought I needed the validation to get to final, and I felt like a failure.
Yeah.
Like I felt, to me, coming 5th was like being pork chop. I know
Right.
it's awful to say, but like I really did. Like I was like, unless I've got the full experience and showed every runway and done the finale like lip sync, I've not won. I've not done anything.
But that's just
And that was my
huge,
mindset.
But that's,
Yes.
Well, back
that's
in the day,
imposter
that was the
syndrome.
thing.
Yes.
And I think as a drag artist, especially when you go on Drag Race, that can fully get the better of everyone who does that show.
It ruined
It's
my
hard.
it ruined my entire Drag Race journey because like that is why I got cancelled, because I was just constantly projecting and speaking like negatively, because I was just like, I was so mad, I was so upset, I was so unhappy with my experience. And then it wasn't until about 3 years later I went, whoa, actually when I look at my body of work, I've done more shit than some people who've like
But that's why it's so
Yeah.
important to look at progress.
Yeah.
And I do this when I get in my shit mood.
You have to remind
I go like, oh, I've
yourself.
done nothing with my year, or da-da-da. No. If you compare what you're doing now to what you were doing, say, 2 years ago, you would fucking dream.
Yeah.
So, like, you just got to keep relating back.
I was listening to No Gorge, and it was like interesting because Gottmik got some advice from Rue, and he was like, because Gottmik was going through it on the show, she was like, try and look at your life from like a Google Maps kind of perspective. So just zoom out for a second.
Yeah.
And it's like a good kind of thing to think about. It's like all of us, especially you, like we've all had our moments of like everything's so fast paced. What's the next thing? Oh my God, if we're having an off day, we're
Never
failures.
enjoy it.
And it's like, it's so quick. It's like, it's good to actually for a moment, especially
Pause.
after such a high on season 2, to like really just like zoom out and go like, I did this. You want to like Gay Times cover.
Yeah.
Not only just that, but also
Like, in print
serving
as well,
every
like,
single
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
And it's like, to look at that is what we all should do, you know, because it's so hard.
But
it's important.
That's why I would love to go back and just have a different take on it and like appreciate it for what it was, because like I don't think I enjoyed it, and like before I knew it, I blinked. I went, well, 3 years of my life have just gone.
Literally.
And I was like, and I've not. Actually,
And you don't remember any of it.
Like and I've not stood around and like gone like, whoa, girl, you've done Australia 3 times, you've done America 4 times, like you've done sellout tours, you've done this. I'm like, you've actually done a lot, but like I was never happy because being honest, I went in there thinking I want to win.
Yeah.
And like you all do, obviously, but like I just could never validate myself for what I'd done because I just felt like a failure. And like I feel like now we're going in, like even if I place like 12, I won't give a shit. I'd be like, you know what, like getting on it like was great. I think I just need to like enjoy it.
That's the thing.
But you know yourself, like when your money comes to you as well, like you lose all prosperity of like reality and realization. Like I could spend money in a day like crazily, and it didn't mean anything.
What's the biggest amount you've ever spent in one day?
Yeah, what's the biggest? Like in one day, and you just
tell us a big.
And you just
when was the day you popped the fuck off?
Yeah, I know you just said less than
every other day.
Like just one. What?
A
bracket.
I'll tell you the most expensive thing I've ever bought was the Freddie Mercury's face, which I think you've seen.
Oh yeah.
That is, and there's only so many in the world. I've got that, and that was close to $250,000.
What?
Right, but
you stupid fuck.
And then I was broke. It's like, but obviously, like I bought that because I was doing that Freddie Mercury act on the tour, and I was like, oh my god, I need to remember this forever. So I thought,
which tour?
When I did the Unite King Dolls tour.
Oh, yeah.
I did Freddie Mercury as a full mix, and I had a mustache the lot. So and so I was like, I'm going to buy this mask as like a homage to my time. And then a Dior bag.
$500,000.
But like the gag with it though is like, with that saying that, is when I won the girl group challenge, and like we kind of knew we were going to win, and Joe Black was there. This is me also digging out Joe Black. Joe Black said to me, what are you going to do when you leave the show? And like, you're going to have to perform this song across the world, this Bing Bang Bong, and like, it's going to be everywhere. Like, what are you going to do? Because you don't perform. I was like, fuck, I don't. So then I got in my head and I was like, I don't know who I am as a performer, so I'm going to have to be other people. So then like, you've probably seen from like my repertoire, my Rolodex, I did Freddie Mercury, then I impersonated Christina Aguilera. Yeah. Like, that was my thing. And like, I never believed that I could perform. And then it wasn't until the Drag Race tour that I was like, right, what is my vibe? I went, I'm a chav. I'm a girl in a course getting picked up by a boyfriend going to McDonald's. Like, I'm that girl.
So you.
Do you know what I mean? That is like Cascada, like at 17.
Yeah.
Like, I was
like, oh my god. Yeah.
I was like, I'm that girl, like, where a lad picks up and goes, you want to come for a ride in my little car? And I'm like, yeah.
You are a party girl.
Yeah.
Everyone.
That is my aesthetic.
Yeah,
like most people know, you are I have a list of people, right, who just aren't real. They're not real. They're
you're
just
not real.
in the system. The AI. You are part of that list.
I'm not realistic. Like I'm like
yeah.
girls, it's 6 a.m. Like, let's keep going.
No, like I am literally. I always walk away from a hangout with you and go, how is she even a fully functioning person?
We have had the wildest nights.
Yeah.
And you have always been the last one standing.
That is my brand, like, and that's why, like, when I finally did like the neon, like the Clubland mix, I was like, this is me living my authentic self. And like, when I pitched it, Voss were like, we don't know this music, like this isn't gonna go down. I went, just give me like 3 shows to see if the crowd reacts. And I was the only girl off the whole tour who got standing ovation every night because of the music. Because people didn't care then what I was doing. They just cared about the vibe.
But the fact that you know that proves that you're a professional, because you knew how to read the crowd.
Yeah.
And also being someone that was like a cunt on their season and the fashion queen, they don't expect them to come out and be like, "Way!"
And be the
do you know what I mean?
princess.
Yes. But like the fact that you bring that to every show is quite impressive, because you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, and you've made it to a point where like you know you're gonna get a standing involved. Like, and you're not.
I've learned, but, I'm like, if I come out and do a Mamma Mia mega mix, like people are gonna live.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
that is how you need to then know your audience.
If it's not broke, don't fix it, honey.
Speaking of numbers, though, that one, it was recently. It was the Mode Tour, the second one they did. That cursed company.
Oh yeah.
When you did that, no, I think it's because like no shade to you, because you're not like when you do the moves. It isn't bad, but it's like, it's funny because you just go...
Because it's me.
Because it's you. You go, and you're doing the Beyonce, wah, 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 and all that. And
it's because I did the stank face, which we all know.
Yeah. The stank, the AWHORA stank face.
Side note, we have to insert the stank face. This happens usually around 9 a.m. in the morning at a really severe moment.
Earlier than that, it's just the beginning
of but when it's at its height, it's usually about 9 a.m. when everyone's on the floor.
I will never forget, my favourite thing is us in America, and then me going, and then there's a video, it's me going, that's when I licked pussy.
Yeah, you were talking about licking a pussy.
I go, that's when I licked like pussy. It was like eating a kebab. And I go,
no. People need to understand at home what actually happened. So we've just finished the gig. Don't know where we were.
Somewhere in the States.
We were getting on a bus, but prior to the bus, we got to this gig. AWHORA's obviously walked in and been a whora from the get-go. She has made 8 local girls go outside and have a photo shoot of her.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like have a photo shoot. She made
get on the floor.
Get on the floor. go
Put your
over.
leg out.
Oh, she's producing it.
No, she made them get on the floor, take a full-on photo shoot of her like mother. Then she told them all to fuck off. I turned around for 2 minutes, looked back at AWHORA. She's got a wheelie bin.
Oh yeah.
She's got a wheelie bin, and she's had literally a full-on hour photo shoot of her like holding a wheelie bin with her leg up.
But she thinks it's like the new Boom
Oh,
Boom
babe,
Cat.
she's
I was
like,
like, this is cut.
Oh, she's
This
like,
is
this is gonna
insane.
get me the cover in Vogue.
And then
Like,
I remember the best
and then-
one was is at the end of it. I went, can we do one more? He went, yeah, sure. And I got the wheelie bin. I was trouble out with the wheelie bin.
Oh, shit.
Do you remember?
That was so
We
funny.
will find the photos.
And then-
They are there.
I've got it.
You have them.
And then after we got back on the bus, and it was us and Bagger, and Bagger's like doing this. Bagger's doing a theme tune walking on the bus.
Oh yeah, she's singing.
And then AWHORA is somehow, I don't know how you were in this outfit, but I just remember it being so funny. You were in like leggings, but they were like 3/4 leggings with a tucking
Cycling
panty.
shorts, cycling shorts.
It was like with a tucking panty all the way up to her fucking
Tits.
tits. And then like the little shorts and then trainers. She's like, and she's just like, lips going to the nose, looking at us with her new House Labs lipstick she bought the other day.
The gloss.
Yeah.
And she's just staring at me and Crystal hating us, and she's going, that was the most
Do you know
unhinged
what?
tour we
You
ever
are a
did.
hard worker. If you have a gig of AWHORA, I've done many gigs of AWHORA. You are making the most of it. Like she's doing a photo shoot 5 minutes before the number.
No, yeah.
After the number, she's
Yeah.
getting like photos with all the girls.
Content.
Like mama, but it's so fierce because the content goes nowhere.
Yeah.
But it's still fierce. Well, that was a was a
Yeah.
fun tour, but it was with an awful company.
Oh,
I
well.
mean, that is the time. Like that is also like one of the reasons why like I've got such a mixed feeling with drag, and like the why obviously like the last couple of months I've like took time out to find a new sense of love for it again, because you know when you're in a like I'm not going to speak on terms of who and what, but you all know. But when you are like going on stage and giving everything, and you're in the back of your mind thinking, am I going to get paid? It's not about the money, but like when it's built up to a certain
It's your job.
amount,
Yeah,
you go,
it is a job.
you're like, I'm wearing a custom outfit I've had made for this tour,
Yeah.
and I've had a mix made for this tour, and I'm putting all this effort in, and I'm, you know, away from my family, I'm away from my friends, I'm giving everything to these people and these fans who I love and adore, but then like in the back of your mind you're going, but what am I getting out of this? Because like I'm selling myself for nothing.
Yeah.
You do have to stop from it and go, why am I doing this job?
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing any benefits. Like I still have to then finish this tour, go back home and go, can I pay my rent?
Yeah. And you were fucked over
But can
the
I ask-
most
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
really
with this
really
specific
Well, can I
company.
ask-
Well, I was the one
How
doing the
much?
worst.
How much are you owed?
To speak specific numbers, like with my invoices, this is a legal matter, so this is like
Yeah.
private information.
Yeah,
but I'm saying this is an anonymous inquiry.
Mm-hmm.
I am owed in terms of performance shows given over 8 months, over 50,000, and I'm
Right.
owed in terms of merchandise and product that was sold at DragCon and online on a virtual store. I'm owed about 40,000 in merch.
They
Right.
took that money too.
Yes,
So-
babe, I never saw any of it.
Yeah.
I'm
That's about
so
100
glad I
grand.
didn't
They
go with
started
them
taking
for
my
merch
merch.
because they were begging. They
Yes.
were begging when I came off. But yeah,
But,
anyway,
So altogether, that's about 90 grand.
It's 87.
was probably more. It could be more.
It's 86 or 87 with a full invoice broken.
And
Fuck.
what was was there any excuse at the time? Was there any like, oh, by the way, it's
do
coming?
you know what the worst thing is it's like me, like people go, how did you let it get to that amount though, horror? Like, how could you be that person? I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I was going to this person, hi, like, look, I've done 28 shows now on this tour. Like, I need to be paid. Like, you know, I'm using my savings. I was a sensible queen. Like, I was a girl who would always save.
Yeah.
I'd always put money aside. And I never had less than 90 grand saved in my savings account.
Really?
I was always comfortable. I was like, I never have to worry about anything. So I've got 90,000 when I need it.
Right.
And I, for 8 months, having to then pay my rent in London, which was like close to 2 grand with bills.
Yeah.
Paying for custom outfits. And I was a fashion girl. My image is my brand. So like, I was getting looks made.
Yeah. It's a lot of
And
money.
obviously, like, over 8 months, it accumulates. And like, I eventually was like, look, I'm like on 30 grand now in my account. Like, my savings have gone. Like, I need this money. And it was like, look, I'll send you 2 grand tonight.
Jesus.
Okay, cool. But that kind of shuts you up. Then the next time, look, I need a bit of that money. Like, I've got this thing, I've got drag, I need to buy merch. Yeah, do the show and then I'll pay you after the show. Well, I'm not going to do the show because
Yeah.
I said I'm not going to go on stage tonight until you pay me. That is fine, AWHORA. You don't turn up to the show tonight. I'll go on the mic and say to all these fans who wait hours for you outside and come to the show and travelled for you and say she's not going to come on stage tonight because she doesn't want to.
What?
So then what do I do?
There are certain things you can pick up on, obviously, on your end, but I think because you were just so like crazy busy, you were probably being handed opportunities left, right, and center. It's really hard to say no because you're addicted to being busy.
But also, like, it's like we're all drag queens. We're all gay men who are fucking egotistical. Like, we all don't want to look not busy. So I do not want to not accept a tour and be sat at home, at the risk of maybe not earning any money anyway, or at the chance of maybe getting paid 30 grand for a tour if I get it. So I'd rather take the risk.
Of course.
But also, you know, like, you are working so much. It's not... people don't understand how much you've got on your plate already. Like, thinking of new looks, thinking of what number to do. You know, planning yourself, trying to plan, you know, everything. And it's like, you shouldn't be thinking about money. And it's like, when you're waiting for payment, like, that's
jarring.
not what you're thinking about.
Like,
and also, I will also
mindset.
back you up as well. And I will say, I know this guy. He was manipulative. It wasn't a fact of like, you know, you should have known you weren't being paid. You should have blah, blah, blah. This man would
Sold
be
you
so
stories.
well at
Yes.
convincing you that you're fine, convincing you that we're going to get paid. This guy said horrible things to me when I won. I was already in a vulnerable position because I was just 19 and I literally just won the whole show. Yes.
He dug you out.
He told me I was nothing.
Yes.
He told me I was nobody. He told me I was never going to get work.
And like he was going to make sure you never worked.
And make sure I never
'Cause he knew
worked.
every promoter.
This was a mid-30 guy talking to a 19-year-old that just won Drag Race. Like, this guy twisted me after the show, ruined my confidence, let alone these other girls. You wouldn't have even had a moment to even, like, consider what was going on here.
No.
You were literally working.
The worst part I had a TV... I always had a live agent and a TV agent. My TV agent at the time, which is also very known for what they've done, and they did a lot to other girls on my season, very famous girls, and they robbed me of 30,000. And then I was screwed over. And I said to this man, I says, I've lost this money. I know I'm probably never going to get it. I went, put me on every fucking show, every tour. So I was Marmalade, Mode, Runway, War on the Runway, all these shows back to back. Because he went, I will put you on every show and I'll make sure you get your money. You get it back that way. So I was overworked. I never had a day off in like 2 years.
Yeah,
and then what happens? He did the same thing because he knew he could get an advantage out of me and took advantage of me.
Yeah.
That's what sucks the most. I was like, I trusted you to help me, and you took it as an opportunity.
And you were also really nice to him. Because I remember him being...
God,
Because you guys had like an actual friendship. And I always...
I trusted him.
Because of what he said to me, I was always on guard. Even though I needed the work at the time and I was scared, I was just thrown into this Drag Race fandom. And I was like, I need to gig. Yeah. Even though he literally belittled me, I was still hanging on because I didn't learn... I wasn't...
This person
I didn't
had
know
the power at the time. Like,
he did.
He
was the only one doing it.
This is like the boss of the UK.
Yeah.
Like, this person, like, I remember, like, saying one thing. I was like, if you spoke out of terms of, like, I can tell every promoter that you're difficult to work with, you're a cunt, and you'll never work again. Horrible. So then you had to work with this person to get work.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, you did.
He was the bread and butter.
He was one of the only ones.
But he also enabled that in your minds. He was like, you're not going to get work unless you work with me. It was like all that. It was like manipulative.
Yeah.
And he just dug such a hole and then everyone fell in with it.
And the worst thing is like he would book American girls, pay them quadruple what I was getting paid. I was doing gigs for like not even a quarter of their price.
Yeah.
And then my checks, what we're going to get processed and sent to him from what I'd done over a tour of like 20 days, would be the budget he would then use as a deposit to pay for that American girl to come over. And I was like, well, you can't pay me, but you can pay her deposit before she's even done the show.
This is the thing he used to do. He used to not be able to afford the shows, and then he'd put on a new random show, get people to buy tickets for that, and then use that ticket money to then pay other queens like the US girls. So then no one was still getting paid from the previous tour, but then he made a new tour and booked different people. So it was just a cycle of no one's getting paid, but tours are coming out for tickets to be brought, and then it was just fucked. And then next minute, he's then given out free tickets because nothing's selling.
Yeah,
or
to make the shows look busy.
Whereas these other people have bought them.
Yeah, and then a week later, someone spent £30 on a ticket. Week later, £10 for 2 tickets. Quick, buy them.
Yeah.
No, babe, you fucked the industry.
And then the show's a shit show.
You fucked everything.
Yeah.
And then also, I've gone to watch your show. The tour that we came to watch you at was generally
carried by me.
Worst thing.
It was, let's be honest.
It's not even the queens on it. It wasn't. This is my one thing. I will say this now with Chess. A man should not be on stage in their Converse
Go
and
in.
their t-shirt.
Oggy.
Demanding people to cheer.
Fucking leave that
You are
Oggy
not
at
a drag
home.
queen. You are not an entertainer, and you're not even a DJ. So get the fuck off stage, you embarrassment. But also, why the fuck are you using Detox, Shangela, all these queens as a promotion for this tour? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was all messy boobs.
Babe, we were watching it, and on this big visual, it's Shangela, Detox,
Trixie Mattel.
Trixie Mattel, everyone being promoted on it like they were on it.
But none of
and
it.
the next minute, it was
Horror.
local queens and AWHORA.
It was messy.
But it was so weird. But then I felt so uncomfortable because he comes on stage and shouts at people. Yeah.
But then people
And
would
he's
be
like, oh, look at you.
people were leaving
And I'm
halfway
going, oh
because
my
of
God.
he was like, oh, we're gonna have to stop for a second because someone's not ready, and it's like,
It's
why the
so
fuck is the audience?
unprofessional.
They've paid to watch a show.
Yeah.
I remember like having to pay my costume, like pay my dancers, and like, you know, get the time booked in for the choreography and stuff. And like, I was like, I want to do this right, and I want to like, you know, that's when I got obviously like at the time I was like, I want to get Tamara on it because obviously like I knew she would come out on her season, and like, and I felt like luckily like everyone else got paid on that tour aside from me, but yet I was the one who put in the most into that tour. And like, I remember like, my dancers messaged me going like, hey, like we haven't received our money, and like this is our livelihood, like what can we do? And I was like, look, if he doesn't pay you in a week, like I'll pay you, and then I will literally like when you get paid by him, just send me the money. And that is how we had to do it because like, but the thing is like
Crazy. You covered his payment.
We were
Because
also
it was
doing
terrible.
Australia together, and we ended up having to pay for the assistants working, the people that were helping do the
send them a
tour.
check.
What do you mean? At the end of the day, I get it. Like, if your drags popping, don't, and this goes for all promoters, because I've actually had an issue with a certain promoter in Scotland who did this to me, and it's all fine now. But if you cannot afford to put on the show, prepay, have it all there, don't do it. Are you dumb?
The aggravating thing for me is like people going like, well, like girl, do something, like get your money back. And I'm like, you don't understand. And like, if this does get me in trouble, I'm not knowing anyone, so like legally you can't do this to me. When somebody has like, you know, when you set up a company as a limited company, you are separate. Like one thing, like with me, like when you're a drag queen, you should probably set up yourself a limited company. So like if you ever like get in a bad financial position, you should then be able to liquidate your financial brand company house as your drag. So then as you as a personal person isn't affected, so your assets aren't taken away. This person was clever in that they set it up as a company. So as a company, when you liquidate, whatever debts you've got, the priority is always the HMRC, which is the government. Yeah. So your tax bill. This company had over 780,000 debt in tax bill. Jeez. So anything that money that is recovered from what they own through the company, not through him as a person, is used as money to pay the creditors, which are the people who are owed money, like myself. This person was so clever that they bought their assets through themselves as him, not the brand, the promotion company.
Right.
So his apartment of over $250,000, which is 400,000 in Manchester, and his car, his Range Rover, they cannot confiscate them because that is his, not the company's. Right. So I now have nothing to claim from. I can probably go to court, sue him, win the battle, and get my court fees paid off after a year after I've spent 60,000 battling it, which I haven't got 60,000 to do. And then after that, I will then be given a grant, which will be that he can agree with the money he earns to pay you £5 a month. What is the point?
And also, and the most this man can do is post a topless selfie with the comments turned off.
Saying,
and go,
I'm
It's been so
sorry."
hard for me. No, but the moral of that, what I read from it, and everyone was sending it to everyone, he was basically like, it was so hard for me. Shut up.
No.
6 months.
You're the reason
6 months in the
people have to
darkest
move
time of
out
my
of
life,
London.
babe. I was fucking drinking 6 bottles of wine a night, trying to fucking get myself out of a dark
It
place.
was not an
And I've
easy change
And the
for
worst
you.
thing is I've had to leave London, leave my friends, leave everything to start a new life because I thought it's not because I want to give in to you. It's because I don't want to give up in life in general. Like I want to go home, but in my hometown, be around my family who care about me, get a house, be more. Now this was a wake up call to me to go. You need to be sustained. Like I need to have foundations. Like if this ever happens to me again, what have I got? I got a home, so like let me have my foundation secure. So I've left London, got a new place, set it up, built this amazing home that I'm so proud of, made it my passion project, changed my life, look, reflected on myself and gone, what do I need to change to be the best version that I can now conquer this next chapter of my career? Rather than sit and go, I can stay in London, hustle through, beg for gigs, not be able to buy a Chanel bag, which I want to do. So like, why would I do that? But he has managed to move to London, live in a penthouse, live in a bougie life, doing fucking OnlyFans content. Like, it pisses me off. Like, why am I struggling when I was the talent? You were the guy behind the scenes and you're thriving.
And also, this man, wherever
It's
this
so
man DJ,
gay.
and I'm gonna let all the venues know this now, because there's one venue that has him. But like,
There's a specific one.
If you have this, and you know exactly who we're talking about, if you have this man booked to do your DJ, to do your
anything,
to do your pretty girls walk like this, all that, whatever, we're not gonna come to your club.
No one.
Automatically, the drag queens, or at least.
And we carried
The
your
established
club.
ones are
We
not
carried that
coming.
club.
No.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, we did. We were
there filling the
every
table,
weekend.
treat like royalty. But the reality is, like, you can't even stand there and go, we didn't know. We have commented on your post.
Yeah.
We
No,
have
you
called it
know.
out. We've reshared it. You know what has happened.
Yeah.
And you still choose, I don't know, is it a loyalty? Like, does he owe you money? Because
It's
if he
'cause
does, girl,
he's
sorry,
got friends
but, you
in the
know.
scene or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not acceptable. And the thing is, the reality is now, you've blacklisted yourself.
Yeah. But also, if this guy is working at your clubs and you're an LGBT venue and you're supporting that, even though
You're done.
people in the LGBT are suffering and owed 90 grand,
Having to move
you
out.
are a shame of a venue. And I don't want to put shame on venues because we're dying in the venue scene anyway.
Yeah.
But you should know better, and everyone knows about these stories. And it's not about anyone apart from the person who owns these venues. You should know much better.
I want to sum it up in a sense and say, like, you guys have carried events, and the people who have carried your nights by performing in that are us. Our community, it's the girls who are the face of your clubs, who fill out your guest list. You give us tables to fill to make your clubs look better. We do that for you. We've done that. We've let you literally ride our coattails and ride our dicks and use our popularity and our talents to make your club look better.
Yeah.
And you're willing to still make your club look smaller and more shallow by having a guy who's got no clout, no following, no publicity to still be a face of your club. Like, make it make sense.
We've also put in the work in to be kind of mascots for the queer people.
Yes.
Especially in this
We're
small
your
country
cheerleaders.
of the UK. So, like, if he's going to fuck us up so badly and not only belittle our craft, but also ruin some of our lives, you should know better. So
Yeah.
you can go fuck yourself. He can go fuck himself. You know who these people are. You know who this guy is. And we're going to move on because, honey, you can take the money out of a queen, but you can't take the queen out of the queen. So
No.
we are still going to remain
Yes.
icons. We have been through worse.
Yeah.
And these people are nobodies. And they will
Nobodies.
always
At the
remain
end of the
nobodies.
day, it was the trans girls, the drag queens who threw the first brick at the stone wall, and we'll throw a brick through
So,
your
LaBelle,
window.
Yeah,
LaBelle, pick up your brick.
So let's pick up LaBelle.
AWHORA.
Yeah.
Would you go back?
Right, so I always said, until I'm sat there in my comfortable mansion, well, one bed sit,
Sheffield.
until I'm sat there, and like I always said this, like I have been asked to go back multiple times, and like I've said, until I'm sat there and I go, I've got no work right now, I've got no work, nothing happening, nothing's going on, I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, reality is, like, props to her now, she's won. But Lemon going back on Versus the World and getting kicked out first, that was a detriment to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you've got such a good reception and a good position, you saw the way it affected her on this new season. I don't want to go on there and be like this person who's lucky to have got work by being the fifth girl, and then get kicked out first.
Can you say what you've been asked for?
So I got asked for Versus the World 2. And I said no.
Don't blame you.
And then before that I was offered Canada Versus the World 1. And I said,
God, why didn't you take it? What I would love to see is a UK All Stars.
I
Yeah.
would.
That's what I need.
Everyone's asking for it.
They're dying for it.
They're dying for it. And you would just be like, because you could come back and be like, I'm here to be nice this time, and then just read everyone to
And be even
shreds.
worse.
Be even worse.
Talking about
Seasons.
Drag Race, talking about going back. Well, honey, we've just birthed a new lot of queens.
Yeah, we got season 6 coming, honey.
Some more
Season 6.
sisters.
Yeah,
It's
honey.
happened. Season 6 has just been released. When we're filming this, it literally has been released last night. So we haven't had a look purposely because we are about to have a proper look.
Yes.
So
Have a
let's
deep
get
dive.
into
A
it.
deep dive.
And we thought none other than the fashion queen herself. herself.
The queen of
Absolutely.
promos in the promo look herself.
Yeah,
And she will make them feel horrible
dive
at
into
themselves.
it.
Oh, I've got opinions.
Let's just get into it because I'm excited. You know, it's been a while since the last season was you, and I was
Yeah.
obviously biased. But it's nice to see
Yep.
a season where
We all were.
this is a fresh one. It's like
Yeah.
we're not got any of our close sisters on. Sorry, LaBelle. But there are some girls on there we know, and some girls we don't. So
Yeah.
let's judge
Yeah.
these looks. We're just
Yeah,
judging looks, just off of kind of
Yeah.
first impressions.
Right, so first up is Sahara.
Zahara.
She is a Manchester queen.
Yes.
A Manchester queen. Do you know what?
From Nottingham.
Filipino
originally.
born.
Yeah.
Heritage.
We love.
Love.
Gorge.
Do you know what? This is one of my favourite
Same.
looks in the sense that this is so gorge.
This is just so pussy. It's so dull. I think she doesn't wear a lot of makeup, but she looks so feminine.
No, the close-ups were good.
This is definitely hands
the
down one of my
face.
favorites for
This to me, like, dress in construction, even though
Yeah.
from a distance, like, you don't.
very you.
I think if you saw it in person, you see
Yeah.
the structure more.
Yeah.
But from here, like, it just looks like a bit of a block.
Yeah.
But it gives Iris Van Herpen. The hair slit tight shows her face.
Yeah, really
I
well.
think her body looks great. Her legs are incredible. But her strongest
legs are
point
incredible.
was her Meet the Queens. She's very much like us, where you look away,
Yeah.
but your mannerisms when you start speaking, she's everything.
Well-
I'm also like, thank fuck you got some gloss on your legs because it really bothers me
Yeah, that's
when
true.
these dusty queens don't even put anything on
Yeah.
their body.
Yeah.
She
Like,
knew to make it.
body
Yeah,
makeup
yeah.
is.
If you're not going to wear
100%
pads, at least put some
And
fucking
girls,
pads on.
like, we have appreciation for this. I'm going to tell you something now. She has got a French acrylic on her toes.
Yeah, I clocked that. I would have liked to probably see a dark lip. If
Yeah,
she had like a
deep
black
blue
lip,
metallic, black
She-
metallic.
so femme fatale.
Very you.
I
Out
think
of
she's
this-
cute. I think she's killed it.
I think she's one of the best dressed.
Yeah, I agree.
This to me, I just live. As soon as I saw it, I looked at her and I was like, "That's a doll."
Skin.
And she is the most feminine out of the whole cast.
Yes.
That's not everyone's drag aesthetic, but like she really like I can't stop looking at her.
So the next one, this is all we have.
And
Lavoir.
this is Lavoir.
Love what?
She's kind of been she's been on TV many a time.
She was on Queen of the Universe.
And
She's
she's
a very
been on-
established queen.
Yeah, she's
Very
very
established.
established.
I
got
can
70,000
I can
followers already.
appreciate the old school. I'm not going to say it's old school because like it's that take of like quintessential drag. It's a very staple
turn it around?
silhouette. It's very much like if you was watching a pantomime and it was like this is the evil queen. This is the outfit you would
Yeah.
expect to come out. And I think it is. If she was to wear something pussy, it would look odd on her.
But I also
But I think she made it work to her.
I agree with you, but I think this is a villain.
Yeah,
femme
this is
fatale.
villain.
Yeah.
This
But
is
like,
the
yeah,
thing.
this is
bang
the
on.
brief.
If it's
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
This is it.
The panto vibe of like being like a villainess queen is that.
But like that is the brief down. I think
Mm.
from the hair to the dress to the stones, even to the makeup. I'm just
I like her makeup.
That is.
I like her makeup.
That is the brief.
Yeah,
You've
she's-
given me
she's
James
the-
Bond, but you've also told me who you are.
to me,
Next queen, we have Kyran Thrax.
Ooh.
Our heaven girl.
I wish this was either a leotard with the same hips or had a white train off the back, or it was a mini dress. I hate that it's a flared pant and it cuts off where the pleasers are. That is my only critique.
I agree with that.
That's if the flares came all the way to the floor where the shoes reach for at a slit, I'd prefer it. Only critique. Everything else I think is immaculate.
Yeah.
I think it's femme fatale. I know Kyran, and I
Yeah.
think this is very her brand.
She's gone.
She
She's gone
isn't
like
feminine.
really clever with
Yeah.
it.
But she's also accommodated herself to it.
I just love that she's walked in an 8-inch pleaser and then fuck off long nails.
That shit was
and
crazy.
she's just gone.
That show is crazy.
This is Kyran, because at
Crazy.
the end of the day, I do gigs of her and I perform
She's
as
not
a
known as
duo.
this.
No, but I do a duo with her, and she comes on in them shoes, and I'm in a little flat, and she's next to me dancing in there.
These
She's a
ones are
pump
crazy.
girl,
That's
yeah.
her shoes of like choice.
This is a
though.
pump. This
That's
isn't
her
even
pump.
a pleaser. This
No.
is like a pump.
Yeah.
You can't even walk in these
No,
shoes.
but she
Like
performs
it's
in
impossible
them.
to walk in them.
She's crazy.
This is Lady Gaga in Heathrow.
I do live.
I mean,
pants
work.
with
She
the
looks
wall.
insane.
Looks like she's floating.
That empty
Yeah,
space,
it's
yeah.
gaggy.
But cute though. You remember it. It's
Yeah.
definitely an impact.
It's
Yeah.
got one of the best silhouettes.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely one of the best silhouettes.
Yeah.
for
and it's
sure.
very Kyran. I'm
Yeah.
excited to
Very
see her.
And
Very
that
on
bass,
brand.
oh,
Yeah.
one of my favorite basses in person. That
Yeah,
makeup
she
is
looks
so
great in
gorgeous.
person.
She
Yeah.
no
Her new beat is
Kyran's
everything.
face. Yeah, her base makeup is just so smooth and buttery.
Yeah.
Next one.
Saki you.
This is Saki Yu.
I love this, but this gives me reveal. This gives me that there's something going to happen.
It's given femme fatale.
It is. I think
just
this is
don't
probably
think-
one of the
It's
most
the
on brand
Mugler
ones as well. For the
Yeah.
It's very Mugler.
It's tried to be Mugler.
Yes, but I think the hand is. I'm like, if you had a fucking Swarovski red cigarette in your hand right now, it would send it over the edge. With a
No.
crystal
Yeah, I
lip,
see
with
that, like
crystal
a little,
lip.
like,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like a prop. It needs a boa or a prop or.
It's not doing anything for me.
It needs
personally.
another colour or
I like
fabric
it.
in it.
I like it because it really works for femme fatale.
Yes.
It hasn't blown me out the water.
No.
though.
I will also say, from my perspective of this look, I love that it's a Mugler reference. It's not done to the best ability. It could have been more cinched. The shoe is horrible. However, if you are going to be fully head to toe in black
Yeah.
and the only thing of your skin is
It needs
showing is your
textile. It
face
needs textile.
and your face isn't beat,
Ooh.
it's throwing me off. If that's the only thing that's showing,
Say this, right? If she had the lip, what was rhinestone red? Then that's
Yeah.
like a touch.
It
It needed
something.
like
needed,
that.
It needed,
It
like,
needed
you needed,
that.
like, this is my focal.
It
Right.
just needed a bit
Next
of
queen.
character, I think. That's all.
queen.
But it is gorgeous.
the femme
Yeah.
fatale, it was right on.
Well, yeah, it's on-
it was on brand.
Okay,
on
right.
thing.
We got Miss Charity.
This is Charity.
Right.
She's the prolapse queen.
The
Right,
Is that what she says?
Yeah,
This
the
is DEDE.
prolapse queen.
To me,
Yeah.
this is a thing. Like, I think this is great, but to me, like, I'm gonna sound like an absolute arsehole when I say this. This is the prime example of like which I see on American Drag Race, when the garment is gorge, but the face doesn't sell it.
No.
If the makeup was just a red blown out eye,
Yeah.
and it was like no brow, just pretty like blown out graphic with a red lens, and like a pussycat wig maybe or something. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it's the camp face with then this silhouette. It doesn't match.
No.
To me.
I understand it, but also I'm also like, not everyone's thing is makeup, and I
No,
get it's a
I
big part. 'Cause
know.
she doesn't have bad makeup. I actually really, I mean, I'm DEDE gal. I love the big puff.
No, I
around
love
her
the
neck.
love it.
I love the drama.
Yeah.
The only thing I
love the
don't
drips
like,
of
Yeah.
I don't like the length of this dress. I think it's a really awkward.
No.
I wish it had a
Turn it around.
slit.
If that was a gown with a
If
slit,
it was this with the slit,
yeah,
and it
with
came
a little
off,
train.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it'd be fierce.
I think because it's very like dress and scrunchy on top, I would take the scrunchie, put this bit around her back, because what this is doing is creating everyone to look at the mug
Yeah.
as the mug girl.
Again.
But
Yeah,
if
it
she turned the
draws focus.
scrunchie and had that behind her and it opened her up and then brought her out and then had a really nice cut on the dress,
Even like a bit
that would
shoulder.
be so much more elevated and more like rich.
Okay, so this is Chanel O'Connor.
Oh, do you know what? I really love this one. Even when she came up in the close-up, the hair is fucking laid. I think the mug is so, like, smooth, yummy yum. I like the outfit. I'd wear the outfit. I don't think anything's wrong, to be honest. It's just black. You can't see the details. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, I love this look. I think it's femme fatale. It's polished. Her personality came through. The mug is sitting, even though she is in so much black. It's the correct hair color,
Yeah.
the correct style with the correct face, the correct pose. It's giving Chanel O'Connor knows what the fuck she's doing,
Yeah,
and I'm excited
it's
to watch
yummy.
her. Yes, DEDE, what do you think?
Yeah, I think, and also because I actually messaged Chanel to make my family looks, which I ended up making. She's a
right.
seamstress. She made this,
Yeah, she's
Wow.
which is like
And Ellis
hats
Ellis
off.
stoned
Wow.
it. Ellis
Ellis Atlantis stoned it.
Insane.
Saya, she has the good girls around
Yeah.
her, but the mug is gorgeous, the outfit's gorgeous. This does give villain. Like, I looked and it's like
It's yummy.
villain-esque,
Yeah.
but tasteful. And at the end of the day, she constructed this herself. So work, bitch.
So gorgeous.
So
I
lovely.
think, I think it's fab. I think for me personally, I would have just loved to have tried like maybe like a huge statement black earring, or
Okay.
like a rhinestone moment, or maybe on the hands were gloved with like long pointed nails,
Yeah.
just so it had like an extension. But
Gorge.
I think she looks incredible. She's got a gorgeous soft beat, and I'm excited to see what she's actually gonna bring on the season because her sewing skills are insane.
They're insane.
I'm
Yeah.
excited. I don't know much about Chanel
She's
O'Connor,
a,
but
she's a fashion girly.
you know, from
does.
seeing like, this is polished
She's really
drag.
funny
This
as
is
well.
what I want to
It's
see on my
very
TV,
polished.
and
It's very nice.
she's also just seems like she had like a personality as well. So I'm like, I'm excited to see this girl.
Yeah.
So this is DEDE Garbo.
Love it. To me, it gives Daphne Guinness. I love the hair. The hair to
It's
me.
very femme fatale.
I actually personally don't think I have any critiques for this. She's what?
50.
She's 50 years.
Wow, okay.
Girls, she's 50 years old.
Is she definitely
That's fierce.
50?
Like,
Okay.
to me, if
48. Okay.
Okay, she's 48. If I could be at this level, like here, like the thing is, like there's people like who've been on Drag Race who dress way older than this, and they're not even that age. This to me, I think, is impeccable. The detail in the lingerie is great. I love the mint color with the lace. I wouldn't have worn the necklace personally. I think just a small choke would have been great, or nothing, just show cleavage and some highlight. But I think,
Or she's covering their
I
breast.
personally think this is fabulous.
Do you know what?
It's Daphne Guinness. I love it.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, I knew everyone on the season this year. I did not have a single fucking clue this bitch was on it until I saw it on my TV. And I gasped. And I personally think she had the best Meet the Queens. She was so professional. Because I thought they were quite long this year. And I was like, oh, girls, hurry up. Get it done. I could have watched hers for 4 minutes longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was very much like,
Invested.
it was enough and it was tasteful. And I went, I want to know more about her because I don't know a single thing.
Yeah.
And I think she looks great. And I feel like she's going to know who the fuck she is. And I'm living.
Next one. This is
Octavia.
Octavia. What do we think?
I mean, I do love me some Octavia. And I feel like she's done what we said earlier with the red underneath the black outfit. And I kind of really enjoy that pop. Do you know what? It's hard because when you do think of femme fatale, you kind of do think of PVC sex in a sense. And I feel like it's cute. It's very Octavia. She's not going to give us high fashion. She's a performer.
No.
And I kind of just think for her, as I know her, it makes sense. So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, it could have been better, because that screams
That
Octavia as an entertainer. So I'm like, for me, I get it. So I'm like, work.
I agree. For Octavia, I think this is great. I got to know Octavia.
Yeah.
She's a lovely girl. She's a professional
fierce.
girl,
Yeah.
and she has a few tricks up her sleeve. She's a wild one on stage.
Oh, bitch.
I'm excited to see her on stage and show what she's got, because I feel like, we've met her like this as a look, but Octavia isn't the looks queen.
No,
she's not going to give
that's
you.
why it's good.
But I like it because we, at the audience members,
It makes
who
sense.
majority of people haven't met her yet. They're in for a treat.
And also, the hair's lovely. I like the hair.
Love the
I like
hair.
the hair.
I
think
love
she
this.
did
And
a
the
good
makeup's
job.
gorge. Hair and makeup are like really strong. I'm like, work.
I think she could have done with a pleaser to make it a bit more dominant.
Heightened.
Yeah. Miss Kiki Snap.
Right, I'm gonna open this up.
Go on.
For me, knowing Kiki, like I think it is on brand with her. Like it's very Rihanna. Like I get it with the chaps and that, but for me personally,
It's casual.
I think if she'd have just done maybe like a ginger wig with this outfit, it could have changed it a little bit more, made it a bit more soft. And I think if the rhinestone strips, what was silver, were made red or like an orange colour and scattered. But her Meet the Queen's tape was so quintessential Kiki.
So
I think
good.
it was very personal. She smashed showing who she is.
To me, this gives Kill Bill. I just
Yeah.
don't think the hair sits right with
Okay, I
me
like
with
that.
it.
Yeah.
It's giving Kill Bill if
I
she
think that
wore
was the
black
direction.
long hair, and I would have been like, work.
Yeah.
That's it. I love the outfit though.
Her face looks really gorgeous.
Oh,
the
her makeup's
face.
impeccable.
The close up. I said, Mama.
Yeah, she better
and did
work.
you see that she's got 2 different eye contacts in?
Yeah,
I
love
was
that.
like,
clever.
I like that.
I love
That's
that.
like,
I like
that's
that.
like almost like the eye patch on Kill
Yeah.
Bill. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Again, I know
We're nitpicking.
Kiki. I'm biased, but like you are in for a treat. She is a fun girl.
I love
Already.
this.
This is Lil.
Lil, yes.
Lil.
I love this.
This is
This is cute. It's
this is
femme
one of my
fatale.
To me,
favorites.
this is very like old school villain.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yes.
It's giving P
It's
Burns.
classic. It's classic horror movie. It's classic, action thriller where the wife of the rich man comes out.
Yeah.
It's very Cluedo.
I love it.
I love it. I think
Yeah,
it's
very
murder
Cluedo,
mystery. I
yeah.
love it.
I just love that filled red lip. Something about it just makes me
It
go.
gives me Amanda
fierce.
Lepore.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very that.
very
It's very.
Amanda
It's very
Lepore.
like doll-esque. I just
It's
love.
burlesque bitch in a
Yeah.
club.
Yeah.
She's got money.
She runs,
She
the
runs
strip
the show.
club.
Yeah.
She runs the strip club. The girls come out. They give you a
I
lap
love
dance, they
this.
murder you.
I've
It's
got
that.
Yeah, she's in charge of the girls. It's very
Yes.
that.
She's given
It's-
that she books the girls.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very that.
This
Also-
is, she's giving mother.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
I like
I
it.
love. I love the dress. I love how high it is and goes down. I love the fro.
Next one.
Marmalade.
This isn't the
Marmalade.
theme to me.
What?
I think this is incredible. I think this is an exceptional look. I think she's amazing as an artist and a creative
Yes.
designer.
She makes her stuff
This
right.
to
Yeah.
me just isn't the theme.
It's too angelic.
It's too
Yeah, it's
soft.
too angelic.
I'm not scared of her.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
But I feel like femme fatale, this is my one thing, and this is why I'm against it, because femme fatale, to me, you can be villainesque, but also you don't have to look like a villain to be a villain.
You can be
and I feel like her,
facade.
she could be at a party. So in my head, I'm like, well, she's on a mission, but she's at a party where she has to dress like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fair enough, and I do think the outfit's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
And I'm like, do you know what? Fuck me.
I also could have done with at least a shoulder pad, at least a bit of boob.
The fact that she's probably sat and made this on her own in her own time.
That's impressive.
That
I love
is
the
impressive.
skirt.
She's
I
incredible.
love the
But
skirt.
I don't think she's wearing it
But
correctly.
you can sew, but you can't always style.
And I've met her. I've met her, and she's lovely.
Next person.
And this is Relisa Slave.
Yeah,
Relisa.
bitch.
Right,
honey.
I'm gonna
Look
really
at that
kick it
BBL.
off. I love this. To me, the hair was too full.
Yeah.
If this was her like that and the hair was like blown out big, push back,
Yeah.
it'd have really showcased her more. That's the only thing. I love the rest of it.
She's
could.
hot. I honestly would say that. I think we were
the
watching.
sexiest drag
We were
queen.
watching the Meet the
She's
Queens, and the one that I remember and one that I liked the most was
Bitch, the way
her.
she
Yeah.
arches her back.
She's so effortless. She came on there. She's not trying to prove herself. She
She's
just went,
every man's
this is me.
dream.
I'm Relisa Slaves, and this is what you're going to get. I am the hottest bitch. And I was like,
Yeah.
you are so relaxed. You are just presenting yourself in the most effortless way possible.
She puts us at ease when you watch her. Though.
Yes,
she
and I
makes
like
you
that.
really comfortable.
So, like,
So
this
seductive.
specific pose in Meet the Queens isn't something we've really seen before.
No.
Yes.
She's doing her own
It's giving
thing. She's
sex.
in her own little path.
Yeah.
The dress is hot.
Her
The
own lane.
brown, wet look on her skin is hot. It's so well made.
It's
the
so
dress.
good. She's
This
So
this is cute. I like it.
Gorgeous.
How
Yeah.
many more have we got?
That's it.
That's
Thank
it.
God.
Ah.
If you were to do this theme, what would you wear? Crystal, hit us up.
Well, I'd immediately go for like Mugler, but I would do it like you'd have to do the tiny waist,
Black
like,
and white tux
ridiculous proportions. Yeah, it kind of Tim Burton in a way, where it's like
Okay.
really like skinny, like femme fatale. I want to be like
Unrealistic.
completely unrealistic. I think these guys, no, they've done great, but I think femme fatale, like you can so go off.
Yeah.
You can really push some boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of want to
DD?
go
I
for.
immediately think
Come
of that
on.
Austin Powers Beyonce like disco diva where she's like that sort of vibe, and I
Yeah.
think it would be very much that
Love.
something like glamorous and glitzy, but like she is the villain,
Yes.
the bongo.
Owning.
Not I wouldn't go
She owns
dark.
the company.
Yeah, like I wouldn't go dark and all
Yeah.
that. It would have to be showgirl-esque, like. She's like money laundering, like behind the
Okay.
scenes, and she runs the
Briefcase
club.
bitch.
Yeah, very
I
that.
think I would definitely go more like Jessica Rabbit with it.
Oh,
I think
yeah, that's a good
Can't-
take.
I think I would be the sex.
Tits.
I would be the sex doll.
Yeah,
blow up doll.
I would be
vibe.
like I would be the doll of the season,
yeah, for sure.
and I would be there, and it would just be body, rich, luck.
Oh,
Honestly,
yeah, the
I'm
mad
excited to see these
Yeah, I'm
girls.
It's
excited.
gonna be a good show.
I just want to say congratulations. It's a very
Congrats.
exciting time.
Let's give it a round.
Welcome to
It's
the family,
so
honey.
Welcome to
Welcome.
the sisterhood.
And this is just Meet the Queens. This is just the start. We're
Mine was
excited to see
prison.
your personalities come through on the season and see what you guys get up to.
Yeah, I'm
but
so
we are
excited.
for sure ready. I think we want to kind of like say a few things on the pod each week and kind
Yeah.
of give our opinion
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to
moving
hear that.
forward. But
How do
yeah,
you say, girls?
congratulations, season
Yeah,
6
so
girlies.
well
Yeah,
done.
amazing.
Well, unfortunately, this is actually coming to the end of the podcast today, and normally. At the end, we normally do a girl of the week, but because AWHORA's here, we kind of just want to pay homage to
Is this
someone.
gonna be my second girl of
No,
the week?
It's happening.
It ain't. I want to just know who from you, someone that maybe on anywhere around the world, any franchise, someone that you would love to see one day on the franchise, or just in general, you want to see someone get their flowers and kind of your girl of the week.
No, I've actually really thought about this a lot, and I'm like, you know, there's someone who I think is so deserving, and someone who I think is honestly like such a drive that's gonna happen.
Don't pick me.
LaBelle.
No, not me. Someone
I
else.
think that you've put in the
fuck's
craft,
sake.
you put in the graft. Like, your drag is not getting any better. Like, we need you to get out there before it starts to age badly. Like, you're about to get married and, you know, put on that wedding weight. So, like, we really want you to get
Not
out
anymore, please.
We really want you to
Shit.
get out there and just show, like, how
There she
shit
is.
you are. No, well, I would say you. And personally, for me as well, I think that Flesh is incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cute. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
I agree, 100%.
I agree.
I think she's doing the most.
So Flesh is our girl of the week.
And
Yeah.
you.
Well, no, Flesh.
Let's do
Flesh and
Flesh Belle.
Flashbound.
I just want to say thank you, AWHORA, for being on the podcast. Thank you for being our first guest ever. We've finally broke our cherry with our first guest, and we hope to have many more. You really have set the standard.
Yes.
Thank you for letting us on all the tea. And I think maybe one day we need to have a part 2, just because there is so much juice to squeeze out of this one.
We haven't touched the crust.
We've not even touched the size. But as always, we have been the girls, and we will see you next week with another gorgeous Dolly episode.
Yeah,
Wait,
baby.
while they play out that beat, what's leaving? Can we used to me doing mine?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go hit the beat.
Hit the beat.